This is financial literacy. Literally, you don't even need a degree in economics. You don't need to have done accounting in high school. You don't need to even have primary school graduation, crash graduation, none of that. All you need is just to look, listen, and try. Nah? Welcome back to Financial Chats _Tisa. How did I say that? Because that's the Instagram page. So you know now that if you want to find me on Instagram, it's Financial Chats _Tisa. Welcome back to Chat with Tisa. We're going to talk about how to read a graph. How to read a graph so that it can help you to make your next investment. When you look at this graph, how is it going to help you decide which investment to get into? B, how that graph will help you also understand when lows are happening. When you now have invested in something, you saw it on Chat with Tisa, you saw it on Financial Chats _Tisa, on Instagram, you saw it on other content creators pages, and you went and you invested, you're like, yes, and then jiggy, then the lows happen, you're like, these people, they got me to invest in something that is not performing well. Then you come back to us as if we work at those companies, ne? Where the economics, us, where the economy, we control things, ne? And then you're like, this thing is not performing well. What were you saying about this investment now? So the graph has the keys to the streets. I don't know why a rap song came to my mind. The graph has the keys to the streets. Hey, anyway, guys, do not take these things too heavy-heartedly, okay? So, to be serious now, the graph will show you, like, okay, when the lows happen previously and now, how long do they last for, right? Because I get it, a graph has, is this the y-axis and this one is the x-axis? But yeah, it goes like this, ne? At the bottom, they have dates. Here, they also have values and figures, ne? So at the bottom, when we're looking at the dates, it's showing us, and Easy Equities literally simplifies this for us. It shows us 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and maximum data that they have on that investment. Shows us, okay, the past month, this is how this thing has been performing. That's not good enough to tell you whether or not you should invest in that or not, because it's just been a month. What if it was a rough month? What if it was like at the peak of cocoa, you know? When I say cocoa, right? And hey, everyone was seeing red, you know? So 1 month is not enough. Okay, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. And then you look at the max and you're like, okay, this graph is tending this way. Over the years, all the lows that have happened, however long they've lasted, this graph was tending this way, still tending this way. There was a period for a long time where it was going down, 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 down. But then it also went up, and it went all the way up. Guys, it's Monday. We mustn't take life so seriously. So that period when the lows happened, think about a person who maybe invested in that particular investment during that time. They were sweating. They were like, me, I can't stand this. I'm selling now, today. So I can at least get a bit of that profit that's left before my investments are sitting on a negative. Some people, they're like, negative or not, I'm still selling, you know? But what about those people during that time that said, no, I'm not gonna sell. I'm sitting here steady still. And then you look at that graph now, you're like, wow, they recovered. It went up again. Those people would be celebrating. So what happened? When the lows happened, what happened? You sold. Oh, okay. No, us, we stayed put, hey? Us, we sat still. We're like, okay, let's look at this graph again, because I always go back to the graphs. I'm like, hey, let me remind myself again. Oh, okay, lows have happened in the past. In 2012, a low happened. In 2015, a low happened. They came back up. 2010, another low happened. Last month, they also had a low and they came back. They had been at 90% growth before, like in my own portfolio. Sometimes I use my own portfolio as analysis. I'm like taking a screenshot when there's highs. I'm like, yeah, looks so nice. And then I take a screenshot. Hey, when the lows start happening as well, I take a screenshot. So I'm like, I remember for a long time I sat on 90% growth on this ETF and I was calling it nice names and I was so excited about it. Now today 4%. I'm like, how, my baby, what happened? Tomorrow 6%. Okay, siyakhula, sibancane, sibahle, siyakhula. Gradually, okay, kusho ukuthi you could potentially go back to where you were previously, or maybe that's not really your true value when you were up there. Maybe your true value was when I had seen you at 50% growth, but I know that, okay, according to this graph, this investment has this type of potential. But it's important for you to also look at the period, right? It will tell you that, okay, during this 5-year period, this is how this thing performed. So if you go into an investment for only 1 month and then you're expecting wonders to happen so you can withdraw the money, wonders can happen. You can withdraw and it will be great. And then more wonders happen and you're like, ooh, maybe I should have stayed in a little longer. This sounds like cryptocurrency people, but to buy Bitcoin and all of those things, and we'll speak about cryptocurrency in another video. When cryptocurrency is going great, they're always talking, hey, posting, hey, they're so happy. Let it do badly, they're so quiet. Some of them even start to sell secretively. They sell. But in its history from the time it started, the lows and highs have been there. They have. The people that had it back then and sold, they regret it now because of the value of it right now. So the same people, even now, they're not learning from those lows, Do your research, look at the previous lows, man, and don't overreact to those lows. Imagine the people that had invested in Sasol, that invested in Sasol, and Sasol was like stable for a long time. It was growing, and maybe those people invested a lot of money, maybe they had a lot of money, and then jiggy, it's going down gradually. Every time when you turn on the news, it's just about Sasol's drop. Gives you anxiety. You're taking your money out. Some of them are like, whew, I'm glad I took my money out. And then now, us who bought Sasol when it was like, was it 20 cents? How much was it? 2 rand? I don't know. We bought it, and then now it's sitting at like 200% profit. Those same people, if their profit was never at that value, they're like, maybe I should have stayed. But it was also like hurting me. I was getting depressed through staying in this investment. So maybe it was good for their mental health and anxiety health and all of that. But right now when they look at it, they're like, oh, okay. But it was scary. To be honest with you, I think if I was also in that situation, I'd be like, I'm selling now. What? But essentially, guys, I'm trying to teach you and show you that the graph can show you so much about how long do the lows last, when have they happened before in the past, and when they did happen, how long did they last for? When the highs are there, is it just high for 3 days and then it goes down again, or just high for 3 months and then it goes down again? The graph can tell us that. So let's go.
Alright guys, let's get into it. So you log on to Easy Equities, you click on the company that you want to invest in, and let's take for example, you wanted to invest in Sasol Limited, right? And then now you're trying to use the graph to make an analysis of whether or not it would be a good idea for you to invest in Sasol. So you look at the graph and you're like, okay, in the past month, what has been going on at Sasol? It seems that there's been a loss. It spiked at some point to 244.70 and went down shortly after and gradually went down as well, and it's making its return up. This alone cannot tell you whether or not you should invest in this company or not. We need a little more data, right? So what we're looking at the dates here, on the, is it X or Y axis, guys? Is it X axis? Yeah. And then on the Y axis, we're seeing the amounts, the share price, how much it costs to buy one share. Now let's look at the 3 months data. Okay, in the past 3 months, okay, it's grown by 15.73%, which is quite good. But it did have its dips as well. Can you see it rose and then it would drop and then drop and rise again and all of that. Still, the data here is just 3 months worth of data. Let's look at 6 months at least, okay? This graph is definitely tending upwards, because when we looked at the numbers from the 1 month data, it dropped by -5%, and the 3 months data shows us that it went up by 15.73%. 6 months later, not 6 months later, but in a 6-month period rather, it grew by 92.39%. But a person who maybe invested in this company on the 1st of December 2020 and bought the shares at 117.25 would have experienced the highs. See, they would have made some money here, made more money there, and experienced some lows. At least it didn't go below the amount that they bought the shares for, but that's possible. But they would be seeing that open up. They would be getting excited. Woo, I'm making money. Yo, I'm making money. Yo, I'm making. Look at that roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster. Yeah, making money. Getting so happy, you know. Then it's going down a little, going down. So as soon as it starts going down, if this person decided, you know what, I've already made like 100% profit. Let me just get out of this thing before it drops, because historically it dropped to like 20 Rand a share. Let me get out. That person would probably regret it, because it's tending upwards. It's going back up to maybe where the comfort zone that we saw here. It's comfort zone. Let's look at the maximum data. The comfort zone, which was the 400, 300 and something range. This is where it used to be before the drops started happening. Even though it used to peak during certain times, it would somewhat come back here. But hey, when we look here, this is where the nyaga business started happening, right? But by looking at this graph, we're seeing that, okay, it gradually went down over time. It seems like the downward spiral started around 2018, and gradually 2019 it came back up again, and then went down and down, and now we're in 2021 and it's climbing again, right? So you'd be like, okay, I can see the potential of how high it can go, you know. When we just look at this 400, 500 area, I can see the potential. It will take time though, because even when it got to this point, it didn't happen like overnight. It took months and some years. So maybe it could get back there. Maybe it could go down again. But I'm going to be in it for the long haul. So let me stay. And that is how you can use your graph to sort of give you some information about like what you're about to invest in. Easy peasy, right? So let's look at another graph. This one pains me. The Cloud Atlas Big 50 ETF. This one, it's just been so stagnant. Look, even the line on this graph is just going straight, because the move daily is like very little, and it's tending downwards. Like, okay, let's look at 3 months data. I'm telling you, it's still going to be straight, because you see, and then further sharp drops, and then it rises a little bit, and then batung. But essentially, I've been seeing this one on a negative for a long time. And can you see, like, these lines are telling you that it's just like moving steady like this, and you know, with a few sharp drops and then sharp rises again, and then it steady stays like that. But I think it's been almost a year with this ETF, and I'm trying to wait to see if it will go back up and then I can sell it. But yeah, it seems like this is its comfort zone. Can you see? It's more clustered here. This is its comfort zone. Yes, it will go up, shoot up, and then just come down and stay here. Go up, come down, stay here. Up, come down. Can you see and feel the ride here? go down a little bit, come back up, stay here, comfort zone, go up, come back, So if you are like now seeing these highs and thinking, oh wow, it can go up to like 56 and whatnot, nah, its comfort zone is right here. So don't have such high expectations. We can see what the data is telling us from this graph, right? This is my own personal investment, and this is personally my opinion, my judgment based on my investment. So if you have your own investment in the big 50 of the Cloud Atlas, you can decide what you're going to do with it. But for me, this is tending downwards. And if it does come back up, it will probably be around this region here, which would be the more or less 12 Rand, 10 Rand range. Right now, it's sitting at 9 Rand 90 per share and or per unit. And I'm gonna just wait and see if it gets to maybe like 12. I'll be like, okay, adios, muchas gracias. Goodbye. But maybe I could be wrong. But when it comes to being wrong, you need to be willing to take that risk yourself. And I'm willing to take it based on like what I'm seeing with this graph. This graph, like it plays with people's feelings. It goes up and then down, up and then down. But the past couple of years, like 2019, look at this date, 2019, 2020, those sharp ups that we saw in 2018 and 2017, they haven't really been happening. They haven't been really happening. Maybe they will happen. Hopefully I can catch it on that day when it goes up here again, and I'll be like, okay, thank you, bye. But yeah, I hope you understand this about how you read graphs. Obviously, when you click on the 1 month data, the graph will be more loose. Can you see? It's more loose. But on like the higher you go and get to maybe max, the graph is more tight, and it can look like this is more dramatic or more drastic, especially if it's sitting at a negative. Like if it's red, you'll be like, oh wow. But be careful. Look at the dates. And then also when you're moving 3 months, 6 months, look at the dates. Maximum as well, especially at max, when it's tightly closed. Understand that this on its own, if we just looked at 1 year's worth of data, we would see more lines than what we're seeing now. But as it's compressed like this, we can see that, essentially it peaked, and we don't know how long it stayed there for before it came down again. We would need that, or rather those graphs for that period. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that this information was very helpful. I hope that in future, when the lows are happening, you're just like, let me go back to the graph. Let me see. Let me analyze. If you didn't do it now or when you started investing, just go back to the graph, look, and like, oh, okay, no, man, this has happened before. Let me just calm down. Let's wait a couple of months and let's come back to this and see it later, right? Oh, I want to invest in this company. Let me see, like historically, what has been happening here? How long do the lows last? When there are highs, how long do they last? And how low were they before? And all of those things. And then that can give you an idea about this investment you're about to go into, right? So guys, the only thing I ever ask from you guys is to share the information for the purposes of helping somebody in your circle of friends, family, community, and all of that, right? And follow Financial Chats _Tessa on Instagram. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this Monday afternoon. Have a fantastic investing week. Log off the apps for your own sanity if you have to. Teach yourself every single day on financial literacy. Do not let these things overwhelm you. It is not that difficult. So, thank you, Cancer. Goodbye. See you on the next one.